Hey, everybody, guess what? We're live. We're back. Took a day off for the holiday. And guess who I have with me? Jon Acuff. How's it going?
It's great. Thanks for having me, Donna.
You're a Franklin resident,
I am.
and an author of 6 books. I can't even imagine writing one, but you've written 6 of them. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me what it's like lately during these. I'm going to use some of your words that you've used that you have kind of made fun of under these unprecedented times.
I kept wondering, how long do I have to start every email with, I hope you're not dead? Because that, every email is like, hey, I hope you're safe. And then there's no good way to transition into work. The transition is always clunky. So for me, what's different is that half of my job is I write books and then I go speak about them to companies. So I'll go to FedEx or Microsoft or Comedy Central, wherever. And so that part of my job is on pause, or it's changing to virtual. I'm doing a virtual event tomorrow for a Canadian company. And so I'm learning some new virtual skills, but also realizing I haven't been in the Nashville airport in a long time and I miss it. The carpet is a thing, but I'm now at the point I miss the carpet. I miss the pattern. I miss Tootsie's being just too loud. Just 7
at 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning, somebody's singing I don't know, a Garth Brooks, and the Thunder Rolls, and you're like, I just want to have a coffee. I'm not traveling any. That's the biggest change right now, and I'm sure it's a big change for a lot of people, is that we're just at home.
Yeah, it's been interesting because we're all at home, and I have 3 teenagers, and they're like, when can I go out? And I'm like, I don't know. We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, and I've got 2 teenage daughters. I can see one out my window right now practicing skateboarding. She's decided she wants to learn how to ollie and kickflip this summer, so that's her goal. I've got 2 at Franklin High, a rising freshman and a rising junior. And so, I think everybody has the same questions, and everybody's going, okay, well, is this open? What does it look like a neighborhood pool? What are the rules? And so, I think we're all in the same exact position of trying to figure out what this version of normal is right now.
So you have written 6 books. Is there a book that you have in the works about the pandemic? I feel like there's a lot of content here. I mean,
there's a ton of content, but what's crazy is I have a new book coming out next spring. It's my 7th book, and it's about overthinking. And it's been so helpful to me because it's like I spent 2 years learning how to swim, and then the world got covered with water. I would be a lot more stressed out right now if I hadn't just spent a 2-year research process going, here's how to stress less. Here's how to control what you think. Here's how to. So, I wish the book was out now, because I think there's a lot of people that would go, oh, wow, I'm getting up at 2 a.m. every morning for no reason other than just sheer amounts of well, what's next? And so, I don't know that I'll ever write about the pandemic other than online. I share a bunch of videos online about, with homeschooling. I keep meeting parents that are like, I'm so terrible at homeschooling. I keep saying, yeah, you should be. You should be terrible at it because you've never done it. Are you good at hang gliding? No, you're not, because you've never hang glided. So the idea that during a terrifying global pandemic, economic crash, you're possibly losing your job, you can't go to your favorite restaurants, which might not exist after this, you're also supposed to be an instant expert at homeschooling. You're not. My ability to help my daughter with algebra 2, there's no way. I can't turn on the graphing calculator. So I'm not going to beat myself up for that. So I might not write about the pandemic, but I'll talk about it a lot online.
Yeah. So speaking of that, you kind of mentioned it a little bit. You do have a YouTube channel, and the videos have been very interesting. I like one of the last ones I saw, because you kind of mentioned it about the neighborhood pool and how your wife was like, hey, that may not happen. Let me be okay with, it's not going to happen, or not going to look like it has in the past.
Yeah, so in the channel is just author Jon Acuff. It's youtube.com/author Jon Acuff, JONACUFF. But we had a fight essentially where she was saying this summer's not going to be that fun because things are closed. Our swim team got canceled. Completely understand that. And so she was saying it's not going to be fun. And I said, it's going to be a different kind of fun. And she was like, stop. Don't run right to positivity and prevent me from expressing these real, very honest feelings. And she was right. I was giving her no room to be like, it's okay to go, yeah, I'm bummed out. Like, I wish Google had a filter that I could turn on that just automatically removed all the happy stuff that's not happening. Because I keep getting reminders that are like, graduation party, full moon picking at, the park, like all the cars and coffee at the Franklin Theater, and like all these things. Then you go, oh, that's right, there's not. And so I think we have to give each other space to say, yeah, it's a bummer. Like, and I get to be bummed out about this thing. I don't want to stay there, but I also don't want to rush past it in this attempt to like be fake positive. And I would lean more toward that than anything.
I think that conversation that you were just talking about is something that probably every household has had. So I appreciate that you kind of broke that down, and that you were willing to say, hey, I should let her or allow her.
Oh yeah, I blew that one. I blew that. Yeah, 100%. And I was like, it'll be a different kind of fun. And she was like, you mean the kind where there's not any? Like, stop that. Like, that is a different kind. And so yeah, it was a funny, but I think every married couple's having the same kind, like you said, the same conversations, the same parenting conversations, the same, okay. And I think everybody wants to know what's next, and we just don't know. And so that's the challenge. Like, even a hurricane, even the flood, there was no point during the Nashville flood where they said there might be another massive flood this fall. There could be 7 more floods, or we don't know what caused the there was a limit to it. And I think it's the limitless part of this that makes it stressful for people.
Yeah, that's true. Because with like the tornado or the flood, there's a beginning and the end and recovery.
And a recovery rebuild. But there's not a like, what if there's a super duper even bigger tornado that's going to come the day after we think tornadoes are over? And so, yeah, that's the challenge. And I think everybody's trying to figure it out, and we're doing the best we can. And, I think there is I keep telling people this is for now, not forever. Like, it's for now, not forever. There is another season after this one. And I believe that I'm going to be back in the Nashville airport, back on a plane, going to see a client in Dallas. And I'll be excited to be doing it.
So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about traveling right now?
Oh, right now I haven't flown in probably, I don't know how many weeks it's been. I don't know. I guess it would depend on, where I was going and what the situation was. And who I was with, and there's so many unanswered questions. I don't feel like that's the challenge. Is I don't feel like I'm an expert on this, and that's what, when I share ideas, I try to share things that I know about versus just things I'll talk about. The problem with being a communicator is it's very tempting if somebody goes, "How do you write a children's book?" I've never written a children's book, but I'm so excited to talk that I'm just like, "Well, here's 5 things you can do." I've never done that. The smarter thing is to say, you know what? I write nonfiction kind of self-help books, but my friend Matthew Paul Turner has written a bunch of successful children's books. You should talk to him. So I'm trying to do as much as I can to be like, that's an expert. I'm somebody who says funny things and knows this small. Like, if you ask me for public speaking advice, I could have very specific things to say because I do that. But if you ask me for pandemic advice, I'm like, but there's this temptation, especially social media, there's no filter to be like, well, here's what I read, the headline of an article. Oh, the whole headline. Wow. You read the whole headline? Tell me what you think the article is about. And so I'm trying to stay out of that to the best that I can.
Well, that's smart. That's good advice.
Yeah, occasionally.
Tell me about, you've mentioned Dolly a few times.
Oh, yeah.
So you've met Dolly. You did a show at the Ryman together. Is that right?
What's right here? What? You mean this photo? You mean this time with what? It's not like I keep that right on my mantle. Oh, it just had, whoa, it was in my pocket. It slipped out. It's so interesting you mentioned that. Yeah, she was the best. I go to Dr. Wells as my dentist in Brentwood. Absolutely love them. I've gone there for 10 years. We've lived in Nashville 10 years this summer. And he does a charity benefit for his son who passed away, who loved music. And so he said this year, like, hey, would you like to come do comedy, 2 different comedy segments? And he said, there'll be some musicians. He said, one of them will be Dolly Parton. So his question was, do you want to speak at the Ryman and open for Dolly Parton? And I don't know if there's a human on the planet who'll be like, nah, I got some shows I like to watch on Tuesday nights. Like, of course, like, it was insane. And she did like a 70-minute set at 10:30 at night. You've been to events, because if you live in Nashville, you go to events. You've been to events where the headliner comes in, does their 2 songs and bounces. She did a full set.
Wow.
Full set. And so she was unbelievable. I mean, one of the jokes I did was like, whenever a country music star gets a #1 hit, they buy like a Porsche, and they're like, I got it. And their license plate is like hits with a Y and a Z. Dolly doesn't buy a car. Dolly buys roller coasters. She owns like a bunch of or like a rapper will get an exotic pet like a tiger. Dolly's like, oh, that's cute. I have 100 bald eagles, like just like a bunch of bald eagles. And so, yeah, love Dolly. Dollywood's amazing. I can't wait for that to be back open. It's such a great amusement park. The people there, it's so clean and so well run. Like I love that that's in our state. Like I love Dollywood.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there something maybe in the future with Dolly? Like I feel like you've hinted at that. Do you know if anything?
No, Mo, my answer is always, the answer is yes. Like I'll do any, no, I don't, I mean, the only thing that's in the future right now is me posting and being like, Dolly and I are best friends, and then seeing if she'll respond and be like, we are. That's what's in the future. Yeah. It's a very one-sided relationship right now, but I have hope. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. I've got optimism. I didn't think I would meet Dolly this year. Who knows what next year holds?
Yeah. I've met her a few times. She's amazing. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah, she's the best. I mean, that's what's fun about Nashville is that there's real people that live in this city that, like Sheryl Crow's at the swim meet, and like there's people, and I love that in Nashville there's this unspoken rule that you treat them like the person that lives down the street whose kid's in your swim meet. And so I really, that's one of the other things that's fun about being in Nashville is the artist community, and how many talented people we get to live near. Just even like going to church and our level of musicianship at church is unbelievable, because a lot of them have just come off tour and they're playing like backup third guitar, and that person is usually in an arena. Like that blows my mind every Sunday.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it kind of ruins it if you ever travel.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you travel, you go places, you're like, there's no music. What's happening? What's wrong with this place? There's no music. I don't understand.
Or it's just like a guy who owns a guitar, and you're like, somebody sold that man a guitar. Like, and that is the beginning and the end of that ability. Where again, you go on Broadway and you go, that person was one of the best guitar players I ever saw. And you go, yeah, well, he's Katy Perry's guitar player when she's on tour. And you're like, I had no. So yeah, we get really spoiled in this city.
Yeah, totally agree. Talking about your book, give us some tips right now to deal with stress and how we can live. Sure. I know we've talked about it a little bit, but
here's a really easy one. So you wake up at 3 a.m., you're stressed out. One of the things I do is I use kind of a picture and then kind of a couple words. So I imagine that stress is like a customer coming to a business trying to shop at 3 a.m., like banging on the door, like, let me in, I want to shop. And then I imagine me as an old man walking to the door and being like, it's 3 a.m. Like, we're closed. We have office hours. Like, because I do my worst thinking at 3 a.m. I can't tell what's real. I'm in a dream, like kind of in and out of sleep. The stress gets to rule the day. So I just tell myself at 3 a.m., the office is closed. Come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. after I've had a coffee, when I'm up, when the sun is shining, I'll handle a lot better then. But what happens is people wake up at 3 a.m. and they think, I've got to figure out or fix this problem right now. And it's the worst time for you to try to figure out something. It's 3 a.m. You're exhausted. You're not thinking straight. And so I'll say there'll be nights if I wake up, early with stress, and I'll just go, oh no, the office is closed. Like, come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. It's 9 a.m. And I imagine if I tried to go to REI at 3 a.m. in Brentwood and knocked on the door and was like, I want a tent. Like, somebody give me a tent. They would, like, the security guard there would be like, dude, you are way too early for these hours. And I would leave. And so sometimes I'll say that 2 times to my stress. Sometimes I'll say it 100 if it's a particularly stressful season. So I think little things like that are really helpful. I tell people, don't eat your feelings. And the challenge there is that feelings are delicious. They go with everything. A feeling goes with everything. And so I'll tell people, walk your feelings, because you can still do that. I'll tell people, talk your feelings, like talk them out with friends, even if it's over the phone. And then I'll tell people to write their feelings. I think a lot of times our stress is massive and huge in our head. And then you take a notebook and you go, okay, I'm going to put it in this notebook, and it shrinks. Like, paper shrinks stress. And so you write out some things. And so those are some of the things that I think right now in this season have been helpful to me, and I've been encouraging other people.
I love that. Did you know we talked to Cool Springs Wine and Spirits a couple of weeks ago, and like the sales of alcohol since this has started has like increased. Tequila alone, I think he told me, was up like 65%.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I mean, I think everybody's stuck at home. And then Like some neighborhoods look like Coachella. Like you drive around the neighborhood, you drive around West Haven at like 3 PM, and like it's just a bunch of people walking, a bunch of people, and they've got roadies with them. And so yeah, I get that. I'm not surprised by that at all. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for joining us. It was so much fun to catch up with you. Tell us about the new book and where they can get more information.
Yeah. So if you want to follow me online, my website is acuff.me, acuff.me. My latest book was called Finish. It's about finishing goals, because everybody starts, nobody actually finishes. And so we did a big research study about what does it take to finish something. And then on Twitter or Instagram, I'm just Jon Acuff, JONACUFF. And then YouTube, I'm constantly putting up new content. So check out YouTube too.
Yeah, you do those like once a week, because I've been following up. That's how I found out you had a fight with your wife,
Yeah, exactly. Like
I
out there.
I felt like I was in good company. I'm like, okay.
I started it, just to be clear. I started it, and I was definitely like, it was such a silly thing. We're like, it'll be a different kind of fun. As in the no kind? Yeah, that's the kind.
Oh, well, we've all been there.
Exactly.
All right, you guys go check it out. Thanks so much. Thanks for like starting our week off, because, I don't know what day it is. So it's Tuesday, but it feels like a Monday.
It feels like a Monday, as if we didn't need another way to not feel like it was not knowing what day. Like I keep saying, is today Wednesday? And somebody will be like, it's Sunday. And I'll go, oh, I thought maybe it was Friday. So yeah, we're all in the same place. But thanks for letting me do this, Donna.
All right, we'll see you soon. Bye.